What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we're breaking down I Am Legend, one of the most intense survival thrillers ever made, about the last man standing in a city full of monsters. Or, at least, that's what he thinks they are. Let's get into it. The film opens on a haunting image, New York City, completely empty. No people, no noise, just abandoned cars, overgrown streets, and total silence. A red sports car races through Manhattan, and inside is Robert Neville, a scientist, with his dog Sam riding shotgun. They're hunting deer. In Times Square. That's how empty this city is. Robert almost lines up a shot, but holds back when he sees a lion and lioness protecting their kill. He watches the family for a moment. Something about it clearly hits him personally. Then his watch alarm goes off. He looks at the sky. The sun is going down. And the fear on his face is immediate. Whatever comes out at night in this city, Robert is absolutely terrified of it. He races home, sprinkles bleach around his front door to mask his scent, seals every window and door, kills all the lights, and hides in the bathtub with Sam. Outside, in the dark, something moves. Something growls. Something is hunting. 3 years ago, scientists created a virus they thought would cure cancer. It didn't. Instead, it spread across the world at terrifying speed, infecting 90% of the human population and turning them into something called dark seekers. Dark seekers are fast, aggressive, and nearly impossible to reason with. Their skin is hypersensitive to UV light, so they hide during the day and hunt at night. They have a powerful sense of smell, which is why Robert uses bleach every evening. Robert lost his wife and daughter when the outbreak hit. Now he lives alone in a fortified Manhattan townhouse, running daily routines to keep himself sane, exercise, supply runs, lab work, and, every single afternoon, broadcasting a radio message from the city's seaport. The message goes, "My name is Robert Neville. I am a survivor living in New York. If anyone is out there, I can provide food, shelter, and safety. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at noon." 3 years. Not a single reply. But Robert still shows up every day. To cope with the loneliness, Robert has set up mannequins throughout a nearby store, and he talks to them like they're real people. It's both heartbreaking and darkly funny. This man is holding himself together with routines and fiction. In his basement lab, Robert has been running experiments on infected rats, testing antidotes, trying to reverse the virus. After months of failed attempts, he finally sees something extraordinary. One rat is calmer than the others. The infection seems to be retreating. His latest formula is working. Now he needs to test it on a living darkseeker, which means he has to catch one. He sets a blood trap outside a building he knows is full of them during the day and snares a female darkseeker. He brings her home and injects the formula. Nothing happens. He waits. Still nothing. The next morning, while out on his daily route, Robert notices something disturbing. One of his store mannequins has been moved outside, placed in the middle of the road like a deliberate lure. It is a lure. Robert steps into a trap, the exact same kind he built to catch the darkseeker, and gets hoisted upside down, knocking himself out. He hangs there until his own alarm wakes him at sunset. The darkseekers built a trap using his own technique. They're learning. They're thinking. Robert doesn't know what to make of that. As Robert cuts himself down and limps toward his car, the darkseeker leader releases 3 infected dogs. They're faster than Robert expects. He kills 2 of them. Sam kills the third, but gets bitten in the fight. Robert carries Sam home. He injects her with the antidote. But it's too late. He watches her become aggressive, eyes changing, body temperature rising. He holds Sam in his arms and waits until he has no choice. Then he ends her life himself. Sam wasn't just a pet. Sam was the last living thing Robert had left. The scene is devastating, and it's the moment Robert truly breaks. The next morning, Robert drives to the seaport in a rage. He parks, waits for nightfall, and when the darkseekers come for him, he tries to take as many of them as he can. He drives into them at full speed, shooting, running them down. There are too many. They surround the car and flip it. Robert is badly injured. The Darkseeker leader gets inside and is about to kill him when a blinding flash of light sends every Darkseeker running. A woman pulls Robert from the wreck. Her name is Anna. She has a young boy with her brother Ethan. She heard Robert's radio broadcast and came looking for him. She brings him home, stitches up his wounds, and in the morning, he finds them both alive and well in his kitchen. Anna tells Robert there's a survivor colony in Vermont, deep in the mountains where the cold keeps the virus from spreading. She wants him to come with them. Robert refuses. He's convinced there's no safe haven anywhere, and more importantly, he has a cure to finish. Two people who survived the end of the world, and they can't agree on what survival even means. Then Ethan says something offhand about how cold the water is, and Robert stops dead. He runs to his lab and places the female Darkseeker on ice. Anna had told him the virus can't survive in extreme cold. What if that's the key? What if lowering the body temperature interrupts the infection? Anna made a mistake getting Robert home the previous night. She drove through the city in the dark. The Darkseekers tracked her scent directly to Robert's house. Now they know where he lives. That evening, a massive horde surrounds the building. Robert switches on his exterior floodlights, but the Darkseekers work together to knock every light down, one by one. Then they detonate his perimeter bombs by throwing bodies at them, using their own dead as shields. A Darkseeker breaks inside. Robert shoots it point blank. More are coming through the walls. Robert pulls Anna and Ethan down to the basement lab and seals them inside a glass chamber. The horde pours in. They slam against the glass again and again. And then, the Darkseeker leader steps forward. He doesn't attack. He takes his own blood and draws a butterfly on the glass. Slowly. Deliberately. Robert stares at the symbol. The female Darkseeker in his lab has a butterfly tattoo. The leader isn't here to destroy Robert. He's here to get his wife back. Everything shifts. Robert looks at the wall of photos behind him. Every Darkseeker he'd ever captured and experimented on. He sees them differently now. He's been treating them like lab rats. But they have emotions. They grieve. They protect each other. They plan. Robert isn't the hero of this story. To them, he's the monster who's been kidnapping their people. He removes the equipment from the female Darkseeker and lets her condition deteriorate. Then he tells Anna to open the door. Anna is terrified. "They'll kill us all," Robert says quietly. "You told me God brought us together. I'm going to trust that." Anna opens the door. Robert walks through the crowd of Darkseekers and returns the woman to her husband. The leader takes his wife, looks at Robert for a long moment, and then leads every single Darkseeker out of the building. They leave. All of them. Robert spent 3 years trying to cure a species that had already evolved into something new. They didn't need saving. They needed him to leave them alone. The next morning, Robert, Anna, and Ethan pack up and drive north. Robert takes a vial of the blood sample, proof that his formula worked on the female Darkseeker. Proof that a cure exists. They arrive in Vermont. The mountains. The cold. And through a gate in the trees, a survivor colony. Real people. Dozens of them. Anna was right all along. Robert Neville spent 3 years believing he was the last man alive, the last hope for the human race. In the end, it turned out the hope was always there. He just had to stop fighting long enough to find it. What makes I Am Legend so powerful isn't the action or the horror, it's the loneliness. The mannequins. The dog. The radio message no one answers. Will Smith carries the entire first half of this movie almost completely alone, and it works because you feel every minute of those 3 years. And the ending reframes everything. Robert wasn't a legend because he fought the Darkseekers. He became a legend by choosing to understand them instead. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash like and subscribe for more full movie explanations every week. Comment below, do you prefer the theatrical ending or the alternate ending? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.